Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Bean. Welcome to my channel, and today I bring you guys a video on how to build your Bond gear-wise and what are the best teams you can use for him when he does drop on global. And he will be dropping this upcoming maintenance in about 1 or 2 days, the 21st or 22nd, depending on your time zone. Yeah, that's where he's going to be dropping. And he's an absolute beast, so if you haven't done so already, make sure to check out my Should You Summon video for him, but it's a must summon basically. The banner's OP, it's stacked, and he himself, Purgatory Ban, is an absolute monster. Yeah, I'll be going in depth on what his best gear is. There's two different variants that you can run, what the best team for him is, and then any substitutes that you can run if you don't have the units that I'm about to go over. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to cover here. So before we get started though, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're currently on the road to 900 subscribers. You're at 846 subscribers at the time of recording this video. Also, if you do enjoy today's video, consider leaving a like if it does help you out, or you enjoy it. It really does help me out a ton. But yeah, I will first tell you guys what the best gear is for him. So for that, I'll actually hop on to game and show you actually what it is. I'll be back. Okay, I'm here on global, have my makeshift substitute Purgatory Ban here, but what we care about is the gear. So as you can see here, the best gear for him is either HP defense, as what we have here. Of course, UR gear if you can, ideally a UR gear. Or if you want to do a bit more damage, when he does crit, although he doesn't really, well, he doesn't based off his attack done by his attack stats. It's all based off his HP stats, his max HP. If you run a HP and crit damage, it'll give you that extra percentage to your crit damage. And when he does crit, he doesn't crit often, but if he does, he'll do a bit more damage. So many people run HP defense because it's a bit safer. He has a bit tanky, but you can use HP crit because if you run him on the best team, as you'll see here in a minute, he's super tanky with all that extra HP. So honestly, you don't really need that extra defense. So if you want to be a bit more damage, then use HP crit. However, crit damage that is. But the go-to many people is HP defense. So there's that. And as you can see here, I'm really working on the rolls right now. HP is pretty good. I'm going to get this to 15%. The basic stats are pretty well as well. Try and get your basic stat to highest as possible as well for all your gears, all the pieces. And I'm working on his attack stat. I'm going to give it all attack for him, although he doesn't need it, just for extra CC. And his defense pieces, I am going to be working and giving him all HP pieces, or defense rolls, I mean. So attack rolls, defense rolls, and HP rolls. So that's his gear. So let's go back and actually look at the units that you guys want to use. Okay, here we go. Purgatory Ban. As you can see here, I mean, many of you probably already know what he does, but quick summary. He bases off all his attack by the max HP. So basically, the best teams for him are going to be the ones that boost his HP by a tremendous amount. More than the UR gear that you're going to be running HP and defense set. But you can see here, he buffs himself max HP, 40% maximum if you increase his stacks to max. And he also buffs himself by 30% max HP with his level 3 buff card. And as you can see here, his attack bases off max HP, and his ultimate also bases off max HP. But what team do you want to use? Alright, so it's basically almost none at this point, but just in case you don't know, the best friend for Purgatory Ban is Red Excalibur Arthur. He's an absolute beast. More so just because it's passive. Look at this. We just said that Purgatory Ban needs HP, more HP. The more max HP you can get on the guy, the harder he's going to hit. But what does Arthur do, Excalibur Arthur? Increases allies' max HP by 30%. That's a lot. And their damage dealt to enemies, this is a bonus as well. Their damage dealt to enemies by 20% if every ally in the battle is human. Applies when entering battle. So, Purgatory Ban is a human. Excalibur Arthur is a human, so this means you will have to run a full human team. That is the best team for Ban, hands down. So what I'll be showing you guys right now is the best team for him. So what you want to run if you have it available is, of course, Purgatory Ban, Excalibur Arthur for his passive, Keo if you have him, although I will give you substitutes, and Tweegod. And many of you should have Tweegod. But let's take a quick look at Tweegod while you want him. Tweegod. His passive increases strength allies attribute, or increases strength attribute allies HP by 30%. That's a lot of extra HP. So if you pair that up with Bond's passive, and him scaling off his max HP for his damage dealt, Also, Excalibur Arthur's 30% increase to max HP, as well as Twi-God here, 30% max HP. And then Kyo, since he is a human, you will get the requirement for Arthur's passive for a whole human team. And even if one of these two does die, like let's say Bond dies or Kyo dies and Twi-God drops onto the field, he's still a human, and he will just keep the Arthur passive going. As well, if you run this team, keep in mind that we're running a mono red, as you can see here: Purgatory Ban, Excalibur Arthur, Kyo, and Twi-God. And as you see, it increases strength attribute ally, so all red. If you're going to use Twi-God, make sure you're running a full mono red, which is what this team is. And this is probably the most used team on the Japanese and Korean version because it's so good. And then Kyo, although he doesn't really provide any HP bonuses, he also provides ignites. So not only are you getting damage reduction, you're also getting extra damage dealt from that. And Kyo's an absolute monster. Insane lifesteal, you already know what's up. But that's honestly the main team you guys would want to use. So Purgatory Ban, Excalibur Arthur. I really recommend, if you haven't done so already, summon until you get him, because he is basically required for the best team on Purgatory Ban, as you can see here. It's not even a question. They just pair up so well. This passive is insane. Pair that up with, again, Purgatory Ban's passive and his max HP scaling. The higher his max HP for Ban, that is, the higher he's going to hit. This is basically a match made in heaven, so you really want to have these two units, specifically Excalibur Arthur, if not Kyo or Twi-God. But many of you for sure have Twi-God and Excalibur Arthur. He is on a step up right now. He's still available, so I would say summon until you get at least one copy and then dip. If you're unlucky though, if you have to go the full 242 gems, then go to step 10 if you have to get the guaranteed copy if you get super unlucky and shafted. And then once you do that, just leave. Don't summon anymore. That's what many people should have done anyways, especially if you're free to play. But if you don't have Kyo, this is where it gets a bit tricky. You can use Hauser. I mean, I wouldn't really suggest him in the front, but if you want to keep up the full mono red so you can use Twi-God in the back, I guess you could use Hauser. He's mostly in the back line, but Hauser also works because of his passive, increases human allies' basic stats, which is attack, HP, and defense by 8%. Granted, it's not as much as Twi-God's passive if you're running full mono red, but it's still an extra boost for a full human team. And you could also run Red SR Griamore because his passive increases allies' HP related stats by 15% in PvP. So you won't be boosting Bond's actual HP. No, I think this also includes his actual HP. Yo. So yeah, you'll be boosting his HP by 15%, as well as all this extra HP related stats. But 15% versus 30% of max HP for allies for this attribute allies HP is Twi-God's a bit better, but you can run these two teams right here. But yeah, again, the main team though, if you do have it, is Purgatory Ban, Excalibur Arthur, Kyo, and then Twi-God in the back. However, I know Kyo is an exclusive character, so not many of you, or not all of you have him because he's a collab and he is very exclusive. So if you have that, you can either use Hauser and then Twi-God in the front if you want, just for the extra stats, or Griamore, but I don't have him on here. I guess we can take a quick look though. You can use any team really, as long as they're human. Of course, if you have a Arthur, that is. So you could use, if you don't have any of these units or you don't want to use them, you could use like Red Easton. Red Easton's also a good character, as you can see here. She is a pretty good pair up. She'll also keep in line with the mono red, so if you were to run the Twi-God in the back and you don't have Kyo, she is on the banner, Purgatory Ban's banner, so if you do pull her, you can run Red Easton with them. She's not the greatest support or the best unit to run on the Purgatory Ban team, but she's still good. I mean, her passive, it's still going to work because it decreases damage that allies take from a single target attacks by 60% for each the 7 Catastrophes hero, so it's only going to be including herself. So that's a decrease of the damage taken by 6%. And she has a deplete ultimate move gauge, which is pretty good, so you can control ultimate. And although her buff card isn't boosting your HP stat, which is ideally what you want for a Purgatory Ban team, you still remove debuffs at level 1. And a rank 3, if you can get this, you can get a basically remove debuffs, you get debuff immunity, and you become super tanky, increase your defense rate stats by 80%. So she's very good in that regard if you can get like a level 2, especially level 3 card of her. Also, I mean, you could use Escanor, not these Escanors. I mean, you could try Red Escanor, but I would recommend it. The one, although you won't be benefiting from Twigod's passive if you're running the team, because again, he only increases the HP stat of mono red. Also, not everyone on your team doesn't have to be mono red, so all red to use Twigod. It's just that if you were to run Escanor on this team, so let's say you run Purgatory Ban, Excalibur Arthur, the one, and then Twigod in the back, everyone will still get the boost from him except for the one because he's blue. But besides that, if you're going to use Excalibur Arthur, make sure, again, you have to use a full human team. This is why I'm giving you only full humans. And this could still work, but again, it's not as good as the best one. So I would say if you don't have Kyo though, switch it out for a decent red unit. So probably Red Easton. If not, you could try out Hauser or maybe Griamore. So that's up to you. Yeah, basically those are the best teams. Just so you have a better visualization, I'll switch to the game real quick and show you the teams and what I mean and what they look like. So yeah, give me one sec. Okay, this is the first team that I was talking about. This will probably help all of you that are better visual learners, I'd say, than just like me giving you the information. So again, I'll be substituting Purgatory Ban since he's not on global yet with this Ban. So pretend this is Purgatory Ban for all these teams. So Purgatory Ban. This is the best team, by the way, that you want to run if you have it. Purgatory Ban, Excalibur Arthur, Kyo, and then Twigod in the back. That is the first team. Associations, they're just out of order. Just put whoever you want. But yeah, this is the first team. Ideally the best team if you have it. But if you don't have Kyo, again, you can use the one right here. Although you won't get the bonus of HP to him because he's not mono red, you will be able to still do decent damage because he's of course Escanor, and Twigod's still going to be boosting them, and you have the full human team as well. And another popular version, although I don't have her here, is Red Easton, but yeah, I don't have her. You could use her though. I guess we'll substitute in the blue one. This is the blue Easton. But this is the red one. Make sure it's the red one. I don't have her unlocked, so she's not here. But that is who you want. Another popular team you can use to keep in line with the full mono red is if you have Red Easton. And again, you could also use Hauser. Where is the guy? I think he's level 90. So you could do this. I really don't recommend Hauser in the back, so I would say probably do this. And then, I mean, I guess you could try it out for still you can keep the mono red. But he's honestly not that good. Ideally, you would switch Twigod out then and have him in sub and probably put someone else here. Maybe like Escanor or something. But again, if you're full human, you can do that. And yeah, just mix and match from all the units I said in the video. But yeah, that's basically it. Those are all the teams. I don't know if I was like going back and forth from here to here. From like the game and then the website for the information. But yeah, if you need any more additional help, let me know down in the comments below and I'll gladly assist you. I think I conveyed this pretty well, but if not, then yeah, just comment down below if you have any additional questions and I'll gladly help you guys out. But yeah, that's been it for me. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Again, subscribe if you're new, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and comment down below if you need any help. But yeah, and I'll catch you guys in the next time. Peace.